Hello and welcome to the first lesson of our 9-week Year 1 scheme of work in coding with Scratch Jnr. As you can see, our first lesson is about identifying an algorithm in Scratch Jnr. So let's start by looking at the slides for that lesson. Here we have the lesson objective to identify an algorithm, and here is our success criteria to explain what an algorithm is, spot an algorithm, and identify the effect. So children hopefully will be able to do those three things, and then we can assess that they can successfully identify algorithms. So the key vocabulary that will be coming up in this lesson is algorithm, instructions, and we'll get the children to discuss what do they think those words mean. We'll introduce the idea of algorithms through this picture here. Children are quite familiar with Lego, and we can ask questions about what happens if we start from the start, what happens if we start at number 5, do they have to be done in order? And we introduce that as an algorithm, a set of instructions that we must do in order for it to work. Okay, we can't deviate from those instructions, otherwise we don't end up with this finished product here. We can then talk to the children about more algorithms, such as drawing or washing your hands in a certain way, and say how we can't miss a step out. And that's the idea of an algorithm. If we miss a step out, it may not work. So, you'll see on all these slides, we keep banging on about the same word. I'm trying to make it really clear that we want the children to really be using the word algorithm in the lesson itself. When they call you over, Mr. or Miss, Mrs. I've just made an algorithm, rather than look at what I've done, or I've done this, can you have a look at this? Okay, so we're keen to please stress that vocabulary as you're working through with the children. And we'll start by modelling to the children with the green block here. So even if you are not familiar with Scratch Jnr at all, you'll be absolutely fine. So here is Scratch Jnr. It starts with our character in the middle, okay? I've got a desktop version of Scratch Jnr, but Scratch Jnr is only on tablet and iPad, and which makes it really easy for the young children to use. But there is a desktop version available. So we can talk to the children about the range of blocks that we have here. But what we need to say to the children is we're going to use, this is the only yellow block we're going to use today. Okay, and we're going to make an algorithm. This is the start of the instructions. Then we're going to have a go at using, let's put some of these together. So we've got a few different instructions: write, down, up, and rotate. And it says here, to start the algorithm, we can ask the children, what do we need to do? And it says the green flag. So we go and find the green flag up here, and when we do that, we can talk about what the character did. And if we click again, our code runs again. Now, we can just drag those away, and we can put a few different colours in and see what happens. Because we're getting the children to explore the program in this first lesson. So, starting with a green flag, we can ask questions such as, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think the blocks might mean? What do you think the numbers might mean? It's that chance to really explore the program in this first session. So he says hi, and then the children can discuss what happened there as well, and we can play that again. What did you notice? What did you see? So if we go back to these slides, these are sort of the key questions we'll be asking the children. How can I test that my algorithm works? Well, we can test by clicking the green button. What does my algorithm do? And how could I change my algorithm? So you might say, well, I have this algorithm here. What could I change about it? We could, for more advanced children, you might wish to change the numbers and see what happens there. You might wish to drag some more blocks in and maybe remove some old blocks. Move that. Ooh. Move this one out of the way. Put that there. And then we'll try and see what happens there. Okay? and see if they can make different algorithms and describe those algorithms. Whilst the children are exploring, feel free to move around your classroom, use the assessment tick sheet to tick if they are able to do those things. And then in the next lesson, we'll look at exploring some of these blocks in more detail.